It's almost time for another pay-per-view offering from All Elite Wrestling, but this time north of the border in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, one of the mecca cities in North America, and quite frankly the world when it comes to the history of the sport of professional wrestling. Will this card measure up to the great all-time events in Toronto? Will it not? I don't fucking know, because it hasn't happened yet. My time machine's in the goddamn wash. How many times do I have to tell you about this? People that I'm just creating this scenario? Nevertheless, I'm John Rentham with my AEW All Out 2025 predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments, please. It's also the first pay-per-view offered on Max for a $10 discount. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world, as offering people a little bit of a discount, though I think they probably could have gone to 30, but maybe they'll chip it away gradually. Who knows? That being said, as of now, and I'm recording these right after the Dynamite September to Remember 3-hour extravaganza, I will say right now, I'm not going to be watching this live, because instead of this going head-to-head with WrestlePalooza, which was a stupid name to begin with, and it's even dumber in 2025, I just want to say, I am not watching WrestlePalooza. Partly because WWE has kind of pushed me off from really wanting to cover a lot of their stuff. Yeah, the Saudi Mania 43, and a few other things I'll talk about in another video. But at least with AEW pay-per-views, I feel like I can often get my money's worth, and I'm used to paying that price. Now, I do wish, once again, it was a bit of a discount, a bit more of a discount, that is, but at least they will offer something for everybody. I will give them that much credit. They can turn a lot of their, TV audience into pay-per-view buying customers. This is going to be on earlier in the day, and because I work long shifts on Saturdays usually, I will be watching this on demand, so the review will be up sometime late Saturday, early Sunday. So, let's do the predictions. So, we have an 8-woman tornado tailgate brawl. Wordy. Is this going to be under Grey Cup rules? Actually, that's CFL rules, and the Grey Cup is what they compete for. That is literally all I know about the CFL. So, it's Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata, who probably is very sore after landing elbow first on a goddamn chair trying to do a brainbuster. Good job. And Willow Nightingale, who deserves so much better than this. Why are they not featuring Willow better? Against Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. Okay, if Ford does not take the fucking fall here, I don't know what we're doing. Penelope Ford, bless her, I don't think she's a bad person. She's not cut out for this. She's been doing this for a bit. She was competing all the way back in like 2018, which may have been one of her first 2 years. And yes, there was a time where she went away to, I believe due to personal reasons, also maybe to go back to school. Whatever it was. The thing is, she's not any better, and she's not going to get any better, and she needs to be the one to take the fall, and I have the Faces winning this. And, love of God, they need to push Willow. They need to push the fuck out of Willow. Because she's actually good, unlike a few others I'm going to talk about on this card. So, Daniel Garcia against Shibata. Apparently it's their third match, and it's their rubber match. Rubber damn near killed her. And Garcia's going to win. The graphic made it look like Garcia was Noam Dar. I don't care. I don't care about Daniel Garcia. This has been a failed experiment. Bless him for overcoming that car accident where he suffered a lot of injuries, and I'm glad he has a great quality of life. And I'm glad he thinks that he's going to be a main event pro wrestler. Ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to fucking happen. He's overpaid to basically do the same shit he's been doing. And they're probably going to have him be the one to try and beat Jon Moxley and disband Death Riders. Be the mole from within or whatever, which is not going to get Garcia any more over than he already was years ago. And he already is now. But Garcia will win this. Joe and Hobbs against the Work Horsemen, J.D. Drake and Anthony Henry. And J.D. Drake can do impressive shit for the fact that he is a bigger lad, and I'm not knocking him one bit. Anthony Henry is fine for what he is. Joe and Hobbs need to win this in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Flat. Maybe Hook shows up with a new crew and beats them up, and we get a trios match out of that. I don't know who the fuck he'd get, though. So, Copeland and Christian against FTR with Stokely. It's a I got Copeland and Christian winning this, unless they want to just do something crazy like have FTR basically pull the rug out from under them. I'm not against that, but so much stuff is being tossed around. I do not see FTR losing this and then disbanding or going on a hiatus or whatever. I see this probably being the best that the crowd will be invested. Like, the crowd will absolutely be electric for this. They will be enjoying the fuck out of this. They will be cheering Christian and, Copeland like mad. Considering they're not hometown guys, because they grew up outside of Toronto. Whatever city they grew up in, I don't know. But they got to win this match. They got to win this match. FTR can lose. And there's just no reason for FTR to get the victory here. Like, I just can't fucking see it. I could see Copeland and Christian winning, going for the tag titles, FTR costs them, and then we build to a grudge match later on. But I think Copeland and Christian have to win here. So the Hurt Syndicate of Lashley, Shelton, and MVP take on the Rico Gates, as I'm calling them, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. I could see the Rico Gates getting the victory if they beat up MVP, or they, they basically neutralize Lashley and Shelton at the end and then pin MVP. But I think the Syndicate are going to get the victory here. I don't really see the Rico Gates going very far. I'm glad Khan's getting more television time, but Ricochet is in the same position he was when he first showed up in AEW. Yes, the heel turn has helped. That's because we realize he's kind of an unlikable idiot. Or at least an idiot. But I'll take the Syndicate winning this. I can see them giving it to Rico Gates, but I'm going to say Syndicate. Mercedes versus Rhea over the TBS Championship. I should have just said BS Championship because this match is BS. I have had people message me and I've had people ask me, we know how you feel. Please watch this match. Please watch this match. We actually want you to watch this match. So against my better judgment, because I despise calling Rhea a professional wrestler, because she's not. And Mercedes in between the ropes, fine. The promos, the commentary, I don't think it's all in character. I think she's just flat out not good at talking. And if she just shuts her mouth and wrestles, and I know that's going to probably be taken out of context, I don't really care until she learns to, maybe talk like a human, then fine. She's good to even great in between the ropes. This match is going to be an embarrassment. It's not going to do anything. And if they have Riho win, if you thought that I was angry before in reviews, I may turn red. Because it has been 6 years. I don't care if Rio's been off television sometimes. I know she was hurt. I'm glad she's okay. She's only 65 pounds, so she's bound to break something. Fucking praying mantis, a stick bug, has got more meat on their bones than she does. And I don't even think they necessarily have bones. But that being said, if Mercedes doesn't retain here, and Mercedes needs to retain, and then Willow needs to beat her at Wrestle Dream, and I mean flat. I mean destroy her. And just take that title and rebuild it. If they give it to Riho, they might as well take that TBS title and set it on fire. Because that's exactly what Riho does. She sets every bit of credibility on fire because she's a joke. She's a fucking joke of a wrestler. Anyway, Mercedes will win. I don't like cheering for the fact that, or hoping for the fact Mercedes is going to win, but whatever. This whole belt collector thing has had no end game and has just gotten worse and worse and worse. But it would get a whole lot worse if Riho ever touched the championship again. So Darby and Moxley in a coffin casket match. If Darby does not win this, I think the fans might actually leave. I think fans might actually just say we're done. I'm serious. Fans might leave the arena. I think the ratings will drop more because Darby's one of the few stars they have. This Death Rider stuff has been ridiculous. It has never been good. Ever. Since they really ramped it up at Wrestle Dream last year. It has never been good. Jon Moxley has been poison to this program. Wheeler Yuta makes me wish that pro wrestling had never been invented because that's how lousy he is, and that's what his parents need to know. His parents need to know that they raised a lousy goddamn son that's a piece of shit and worthless and pathetic. And maybe he's not a bad person, but he's a piece of shit wrestler who can't remember his spots because he can't see anything. Because he's got a bunch of goddamn, cold oatmeal in the shape of hair on his goddamn head. And Shafir's a joke. And Claudio might as well just go home to Switzerland. And Pac, his ankle ain't ever going to be good, so whatever. If Darby does not win this, I don't know what we're doing. Bryan Danielson's probably going to get involved, and maybe he'll knee Yuta. And maybe, just maybe, Yuta can get trampled by a moose or something, or chased out by a moose. Chased out by a moose is better, because it'd be scary to see that marching towards you. Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Presto. Oh, it's a lion. Let's have a lion chase Yuta. Just get Yuta out of this promotion. Get him out of these programs. He does not deserve to be there. So anyway, let me get back to this. So Briscoe and MJF in a tables and thumbtacks match. I like both these guys. Why? Just why? Genuinely, why? Why? I mean, you know how I feel about these weapons matches. You know how I feel about tax and how I feel about this bullshit. I don't mind the fact that they are trying to ramp this thing up, but I'm sorry. This is a bad idea. This is going to backfire. I am really worried about what they're going to do. And I mean, both these guys are professionals, and Briscoe is safe. Mark Briscoe is very safe, despite him willingly, wanting to hurt himself just for our entertainment. I think Briscoe's going to win, but I do not anticipate this is going to be one of my favorite matches. Tony Storm, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Tekla for the AEW Women's Championship. Tony is not walking out as the champion. I don't think it's going to be Hayter. I want it to be Tekla, because I think Tekla winning would be a good idea. Tekla, whatever. I worry they're going to give it to Statlander. Now, I want Statlander to be champion. But they've been pushing this whole thing of her and Yuta and this whole thing of her joining the Death Riders. And if they have Statlander get help from the Death Riders to win this, then they might as well throw that title in the trash. I am bound and determined to watch the Death Riders die. And if I have to legit see the worst of the worst happen for this thing to occur, I'm for it. I want these wrestlers off this television program for at least 6 months. Pay them, but don't have them on at all. Shafir is lousy. Yuta will never get any better. Garcia is terrible. Moxley is the worst main eventer they've had in a couple of years, besides Jericho. And Claudio means nothing. But unfortunately, they're going to keep this Death Rider stuff going. I just fear that if they give it to Statlander, they're going to do it in the worst way possible, to where nobody's going to like it. So I'm going to go with Tekla. So, Brodito against the Young Bucks, against Jet Speed, against Hechicero and Josh Alexander. 4-way ladder match for the AEW tag titles. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I think I agree with this. The Bucks are almost going to get it. And then Jack Perry's going to show up because they've done this thing on Being the Elite, and people have sent me clips, and I'm not going to watch it because it's the Bucks trying to do comedy, and the Bucks have never been able to do comedy. But I think, in agreement with a friend of mine, that Jack Perry's going to show up, screw over the Bucks, and they're going to do this, and then they're going to have him and Luchasaurus team up against the Bucks, and it's not going to benefit anybody. But it's going to force a Bucks face turn that is not going to end up, again, benefiting anybody. So I had the Bucks winning until I thought about it, and I'm like, no, Brodito will probably retain. Eddie Kingston against Big Bill, and Eddie Kingston will win. Okada and Takeshita. It should be Okada and Takeshita should win. But it's Okada versus Takeshita versus Mascara Dorada. Okada's going to win, probably paying Dorada. And then this has to lead to Takeshita beating Okada at Wrestle Dream. They have to wipe the slate clean with this thing. There is no benefit to Okada holding this championship anymore. There's no benefit to Okada, quite frankly, in 2025. And I didn't think I'd ever say that even 3 years ago, but I cannot stand seeing him anymore. I don't care how broken down he is. If you're broken down, don't fucking do this anymore. Paige and Fletcher in AEW World Championship match. The Callis family is banned from ringside. If Don Callis or any member of the Don Callis family interferes, shows up, whatever, Kyle loses by DQ and gets stripped of the TNT title. Paige is going to win, but I really think that they are going to have somebody else join the Don Callis family, and it'll be the next challenger for Hangman Page. It won't be Wardlow, because Wardlow, unfortunately, got injured doing one simple spot because he was blown up with a garden hose. That's it. That is it for All Out right there. So, yeah, bit longer than usual. Ranted a bit about that. They need to end the death race. They just need to end this stuff. Don't drag it out till spring. Have Garcia turn on Moxley in the lead up to the World's End. Beat Moxley at World's End. You dissolve the Death Riders, and that's it. That's it. You don't have to do this anymore. So nevertheless, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Redland, and until we're back for pay-per-view again, happy trails to you.